I'll be waiting there asleep but dreaming. I'll be there when the wake but screaming. An hour of death and I will rest to have a moment, Lord, of curse them. Watch the maggots crawl out of them. Hear the angels call above them. What's going on, everybody? Farley here to do a music collection update. This is going to be all vinyl, and but not all metal. Got some different genres in here. So sit back, relax, grab a Shasta, whatever your favorite drink is, and watch me talk about some albums. Let's do it. So first off, now some of these I've already done a vinyl rip on, so you can hopefully check those out if you're interested more in the albums. But this is Exodus Fabulous Disaster. This is an upgrade copy for me. This is the Music for Nations. It's the original pressing in Europe on Music for Nations. What a great album, man. Just awesome, dude. To me, there's not a bad song on it. And it's from my favorite musical year, 1988. But I've owned a version of this album now for 31 years. It's hard to believe. But this was right soon after I got Injustice for All. I got into Exodus, and this was my introduction to them, thanks to the Toxic Waltz video. And I just absolutely freaking love this album. Exodus over the years have been hit or miss for me. Bonded by Blood, definitely a hit in this album. And then the rest are a little bit mixed for me. I'm not a fan of Rob Dukes. I think he's the worst frontman in metal history. No, he's up there with Machine Head, dude. Formerly Forbidden. But anyway, getting back to this album. Fabulous Disaster, classic thrash album, my introduction to Exodus. And so I wanted a little bit better copy than the one I had. I had a little bit of, I had a pretty heavy static leading into track 1. All right, next, this is a Heathen album. Heathen is an underrated speed metal, power metal band that they made a couple records and then broke up and didn't make an album for years and then come back in 2009 with this album. This is The Evolution of Chaos. And this album just kicks ass, dude. I have one of their albums on CD. I need their debut, and I'd like to get their debut on vinyl. But this is a 2009 release on Mascot Records. And like I say, man, this is just an outstanding album. I don't know why they broke up and didn't release anything. I don't know if there was some animosity with the band or whether they all just decided mutually to take a break. But can you imagine if they'd stayed together? As tight as their first 2 albums were and how tight this one is, can you imagine the albums in between? Man. I feel cheated. I feel robbed by Heathen with music for great albums. But yeah, I definitely hate that they had that whole 20-ish year gap where they didn't make any records, dude. It sucks. All right, funny story behind this record. This is 4th Century. This is Uncertain Future. Originally released in 1989. This is a 2016, I believe. I think 2016 repressing on Floger Records out of Greece. Great album. This is some thrash out of Washington State. So I got this for somebody the day, and I had it imported from Greece, but it wasn't that bad. Like I say, I got a good deal on the album. I've mentioned this before, but you can get better deals even with like $12 shipping from sellers in Germany and Greece than you can from a seller in the United States down the street. Like some dude in Georgia wanted to charge me like so much for an album and then $7.99 for shipping. So I typically
look at the foreign sellers first on Discogs. And the only problem is sometimes you can get like a German seller that'll only charge you like $7 or $8. It won't be registered airmail or anything, but you can still get it for less than what, a lot less sometimes than what an American seller is asking for. Anyway, getting back to this album, I actually bought this to send it to a certain somebody named Rob. The day it came in is the day he did a video where he picked up the original pressing. So I now own it, which I'm not complaining. It's an album I wanted, but I knew he was looking for it. Uncertain Future, just they have two albums that I want, this and the second album, but they have a EP, and it's actually on here, The Shore. So you've got side A, side B, which is the original release, and then they add on side B the EP, The Shore. I don't know if you can see that. So you've got side A, side B, and then they were able to had enough room to put in the EP, The Shore. Absolute garbage, that EP, by the way. There's no reason to put it on here. I mean, it's cool, they added it, but even the band's like, yeah, it's not great. I actually saw a thread on YouTube where members of Forced Entry were talking about this album. I wish I'd saved it or screenshot it to show you. It's kind of funny what the band thinks of that EP. But I don't know what they didn't mention this re-release and the fact that that EP's on it. I wonder what they thought about them releasing Uncertain Future, which is a classic thrash album, and then adding crap on the B-side. I don't know. It'd be cool to ask them. All right, I just got this today. The Lillingtons, Death by Television. You may notice I did a CD rip of this. Come across, this was hard to find, but they did a reissue, and last year, I think, I'm pretty sure it's like, yeah, it was 2018 on Red Scare, and I picked this up for a really good price. This is just great 3-chord punk, and they sing about science fiction and monsters. So, dude, how can you go wrong? This band did not last very long. Kind of wish they had lasted longer. Some of the members went on to another band called Teenage Bottle Rocket, which are okay. It's not. I don't think they're as good as the Lillingtons, but not all their albums were in this vein of like horror punk type or sci-fi punk or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it looks like a very basic reissue. Nothing fancy here. Oh look, I was about to say no enter, but there is something. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's pretty cool. You'll hear them tear Wyoming apart. That's pretty funny. So, just like a little concert bill. They're not touring or anything, so it's just a joke kind of thing. That's pretty cool that it's included. What I was laughing at is on the thing it says, you'll hear them tear Wyoming apart. Boy, Wyoming is a state that gets zero love. When do you hear about Wyoming? Like, never. Like, you hear about Texas and Colorado and Nebraska, pretty good bit. Wyoming, nothing. I bet if they had a better football team, you'd hear about them more. All right, so that's metal, that's punk. Now we got a little alt country. On my last review, or maybe the one before that, I picked up Son Volt's Okima and the Melody of Riot. I picked up another Son Volt album. This is actually the introduction for me to Son Volt, Trace. This is just a great alt country Americana album, man. 180 gram vinyl. This is a reissue for the 20th anniversary of the album. So there have been, what, 2015. So this was released 2015. You got elements of honky tonk in there, a little bit of folk, and then old timey country mixed in. Just a great band, dude. I won't get into my whole Son Volt versus Jeff Tweedy's Wilco. I've mentioned it before. But just a band that doesn't get the respect that it deserves. 180 gram vinyl on Warner Brothers. If I didn't say that. I can't remember if there's inner. No. But this sounds great, by the way. So very, very stoked to have this. There's one or two more albums of theirs I'd like to pick up. I won't spend a lot of time on this. This is another one I do the vinyl rip on. This is a 12-inch, basically a single. They call it 2 songs by Wall of Voodoo, but it's a 12-inch long play single, and I got it from Mexican Radio. So there's actually Mexican Radio, some other song. What's the other song? It's got a funny name. Oh yeah, There's Nothing on This Side, which is the name of the second song, and then this really weird, crazy remix of Mexican Radio, but that way. So one of my favorite 80s tracks, so I was really, really stoked to get this, and I got it for Steel Man. All right, we only got one left, so if I haven't bored you to tears yet, only one more. Stay alive. All right. So I didn't just get this. I've had this record in my collection for a while. This is 1979's Armed Forces by Elvis Costello. The reason why I'm showing it is it came originally with, well, not all the pressings had this. A few of the very early pressings, and maybe it was just European. I'm not sure. I don't know. But this pressing for sure, which is an OG pressing from the UK, came with, and this, no, that's not a promo. Is this one a promo? No, it's not a promo. Anyway, let me get back to this. It came with a 7-inch, it's not a single, it's got 3 live songs on it. It's got Allison, Watching the Detectives, and Accidents Will Happen, which are just 3 killer songs that were recorded in 1978 live. And so this was, you'll see, it says not for individual sale. I don't know if you can read that. My camera's correct. But this came with this album. And the album also came with 4 postcards. I've got 3 of the postcards. I don't have all 4. And I didn't have the 7-inch that went with it. So now I have that. So to complete my Armed Forces by Elvis Costello, which I'm a huge fan. If you don't know Elvis Costello, 70s, it's got some rock and roll influences, some punk influences, some R&B, just really just a mixed bag of genres, which is really why I like it. It's a little bit of everything. Elvis Costello, his early stuff, and some of his early 80s stuff I like, and then he kind of lost me for a while, but and I don't know that he's got me back. So anyway, I like Elvis Costello's early stuff. But this is one of my favorite albums, Armed Forces, so I wanted to kind of complete this album. So that's it. All right. Woo! 13 minutes. I never go this long. Well, I have once, but anyway. I'm not going to make it any longer. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know what you think about this collection of vinyl. And I hope everybody's doing well. It's a rainy night in Georgia. It's a song, if you didn't know. But, yeah, it's nasty outside here. But we had thunder and lightning earlier. It's crazy. It's almost like tornadic weather. There was no wind. Just weird. And then they said it was snowing like 30 minutes from here. And then here it was raining and thundering and lightning. What the hell, man? And I'm not getting political or anything, but this climate change is something. You know, I don't really care to get in an argument or what you believe or not. But, dude, it's weird to have thunder and lightning and 30 minutes away in Georgia, have snow. It's just weird. So, anyway, let me know what you think of these albums. Everybody take care. Pup Pup sends her love, everybody. Hey, what's going on? And y'all take care. Talk to you soon. Farley out.